Hi, my name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to another video tutorial here at Daily Beats. In today's video I'm going to make my first beat in Ableton. It's not really my first beat because I've used Ableton in the past, but here for YouTube is the first one, so yeah, I'm excited about it and I hope you are too. And before we start, I would like to ask you to subscribe and activate the notifications so that you know when we upload new videos. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. And also consider supporting this channel by buying one of our products at DailyBeatsVI or become a premium or exclusive member, and you will have access to exclusive tutorials about music production and everything related, and also to the project files of the tutorials that we do here for YouTube and also Facebook. So without further ado, let's start the tutorial. And the first thing I'm going to do here is kind of an introduction to Ableton for you guys that do not never used Ableton or are starting out. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the similarities with FL Studio. So the first thing I want to show you here is this window, which is the info view. And this is very important. This is a very important window because if you are not sure about something, you can always look at this corner or the top left bottom corner, and you will see information regarding what you are hovering with the mouse. So let's say that I don't know what is this here, this circle. If I just put my mouse over the circle, and if I look at the bottom here, at the bottom of the info view, at the bottom of the screen, left bottom, I will see that this is session record button, toggles between playback and overdub recording for clips which are currently playing on ARM tracks. So this gives you a little bit of the a general overview of what the knob does, and it's really nice. So you can close this by clicking here, which is a nice feature here in Ableton, is that you can disable the windows here. For instance, for this one you cannot for instance resize this, which I don't know, it's a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. You can toggle on and off here. You can toggle on and off the bottom, as you can see here, and you can toggle this one at the left. And then you have these two ones here that move from the arrangement view and from the session view, as you can see here. So these are the main knobs here in the GUI, in the graphical user interface. And if you are producing with FL Studio, I would say that here the session view, it's a little bit like the channel rack. Is where you put all your instruments. You can put also instruments here, you see, but what I mean is like the similarities. The DAWs are completely different from each other, but I'm trying to give you bridges for your mind so that you can understand a little bit better one and the other software. So this is where you create your patterns, and you can put it here. Of course, you can also do it here, but yeah, you can create your patterns here like so, and then you can edit them here, and you have the MIDI information and the information of the channel that is selected here. And okay, so let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, so this is the arrangement session view, as you can see here at the bottom, left bottom, session view selector. And here we have the arrangement view selector. And this is pretty much like the playlist. This is where you create the arrangement and you make your composition. So yeah. So if you want a similarity, this here, the arrangement view, is the playlist, and the selector view is the channel rack. This is where you create your patterns, and then here is where you can bring your patterns. Sorry about this, it's an alarm. Okay, and this is where you bring your patterns. For instance, if I want to bring this pattern over to the arrangement, I can just simply drag here like so and bring the pattern here, and it will be placed here. So let's delete this. Okay, so these are the main windows, and here you have the piano roll, and if you have an audio clip, it will show here the waveform. So this one here, this window, this that says no clip selected, will reflect the channel that you have selected. For instance, in this case, this is a MIDI file, so it will show the piano roll, and then we have a wave audio file. I can bring one up here real fast. Okay, let me see. Clips, samples, maybe. Yeah, samples. Let's bring a sample here, and as you can see, you have now the waveform of the sample. As you can see, it's very different. This part here is similar, and then we have the piano roll, and then if we select the audio, we have some properties of the sample, and then we have the sample itself. Okay, then we have this one here that you can switch from, the audio waveform or the MIDI waveform if I'm in selected MIDI, and then we have here the drop and drag, drop an instrument or sample here, and it's pretty much the same here. You can drop audio effects here, so let's go to plugins and let's bring, for instance, Fidelity EQ. You can drag here, and this EQ will be applied to this audio track. So this is really nice, and yeah, it's nice that you can see this. So here is where you edit your WAV files or your MIDI files, and here is, in this one, is where you put your instruments or plugins. Okay, so these are basically the main windows, and then we have here the browser. The browser, it's, as the name says, it's a browser. It's where you go and find your sounds, your drums, instruments, audio effects, MIDI effects, plugins, clips, samples, and then you can add your own folders here. As I explained previously on FL Studio how to do that, and I have a couple of folders here. You can do the same in this window, and of course you can resize this as you wish. Okay, so these are the main areas of Ableton, and here we have some auxiliary reverbs and the master output. It's pretty much the same concept as FL Studio, and we have here the mix section where we can mute, solo, and arm to record. As you can see, if I select arm to record, you will see my voice here. If I put auto, you will listen two types of voice: my voice directly from the microphone into OBS, and also the signal coming from the Ableton. So I can put here and off, you will not listen, but you see that there is signal here. So this is really easy to record here in Ableton. This is one of the features that I really love about Ableton, is that you just click here and then you start recording. It's really nice. And as you listen, the latency is not very high. I can't hear too much latency, maybe because I'm not feeding directly the microphone, but yeah, probably you at home are listening a little bit more phasing issues, but that's okay. And you can arm for recording also the MIDI by simply I'm hitting my keyboard, and yeah, you can just see, sorry about this, you can see that whenever I click, I have some MIDI information. So this is really easy to arm for recording. Okay, so now let's go to the top here, to these functions. And this is pretty basic. We have here a link on off function. It's to toggle to turn link on or off. I'm reading the information on the bottom, and you can always read it yourself, or have a better understanding. So the tab is the tab, so you can tap here and it will show the time here. You can select the BPMs to whatever you want. Here we have the tempo nudge down, which is temporarily nudge the tempo down a little bit so that it's easier for drummers to get up to speed to the song. Not drummers, musicians, everyone. So if you are recording something, it's easier slowing the tempo down a little bit and then speeding up to the regular tempo so that everyone is synced up. And the same can happen here to nudge up. So this is nudge down and this is nudge up. Then we have here time signatures, dominators, and numerators and dominators. So here is the 4 is the numerator, and denominator, not dominator, it's denominator. My math teacher is probably screaming at me right now. Okay, so yeah, and I had a lot of calculus, so yeah, whatever. And we have here the metronome, so I can click on metronome and you can see that we are playing. Here you can see the BPMs changing and we can listen to the tap. Okay, so let's stop. And then here we have the quantization mode that you can select. Now it's at 1 bar, so I will leave it like that. Then we have here a flow, which just will follow the cursor. If we have here, select this one here, it will follow the cursor. So let's say I open up something like this, okay. If I click, you see that it's following. If I turn it off, you see that it's not following anymore. And if the playback position goes outside of the window, I can click here and it will start scrolling again or moving with it. Then we have here the arrangement position. So this is the arrangement view and this is the arrangement position. I want to put it at the beginning, which is 1 1 1. Then we have play, stop and record. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then we have here this plus, which is MIDI arrangement overdub, which means that you can overdub or record over the session that you just did. So if you, let's say you record a kick and then you want to record a snare and a hi-hat, you can hit this plus and go through the same loop and do looping and overdub. So what this means that you can record over the previous MIDI information, and you can only do that with MIDI. Okay, so now we have here automation arm, and I will not go into too much detail because I want to give you a explanation of what Ableton is with examples. Okay, so here we have re-enable automation. You can disable and enable it. We have here the punch in and punch out, or loop start and loop end position. We have here the punch in switch. We have a loop. We can select the loop, and the loop will be selected by these two arrows here. And then if I turn it off, it will not be enabled anymore. If I turn it on, you see that there is a difference, emphasization here in this, I think that's a word, here in the loop to say that is active or not. And then we have punch out or punch out switch and the punch out and loop regions. Okay, we have a couple more options here that does not really matter right now. And we have here the CPU meter, and yeah. So this is pretty much it, the overview of the GUI, of the graphical user interface. So now let's go here to the menus. We have a normal file menu, which is to a new and open preset, install some packs that you can install, manage files, save, and export audio. As you know, this is the bouncing, and you can export audio. Here we have a edit function or menu that has a lot of functionality, but I will give you overview of the functionalities as we go along with the tutorials. Create, which you can insert silence, create create audio track, MIDI track, return track, and sorry about this. It's been a very long week. And yeah, and you can insert time signatures, changes, and you can do a lot of stuff here. Then we have a view. For instance, we can toggle on and off the info, but I don't think I will use this menu here, because I can always go here to the knobs and it's easier and faster. At least my idea is that's easier. Instead of going here and clicking here, I just go down and click once. Okay, then we have the options, and for the options I will just go through the preferences. Here the preference, you can customize the look and feel of Ableton. I will not go through the options because they can be a little bit boring. So yeah, you can change the default GUI theme or skin. As you can see, I like this one. Maybe I will use it in the future. We have Frost, Mono Lake, which is also nice. Nautic, yeah. And then I have here the brightness up. So this is the normal interface, but I want it to have a little bit more brightness. I want it to be a little bit clear. And yeah, we have here some Windows plugins and plugin windows actually. And one of the most important is here the audio, because we are making audio, so this is a very important tab in the preferences. And as you can see here, the driver type, I have it set to ASIO, which I really recommend. And I don't recommend you use this one, for instance, the DirectX. I recommend using ASIO, which is the direct access to the hardware. And I'm using FL Studio ASIO devices, but you could also use one of the other. I use this one because I know that it works on FL Studio, so I will use the same ASIO drivers here, because I know that they are configured the way I want, and I will just continue working with them. And I previously, I think it was last week, I did some videos showing how to configure and record audio, so you can check those out on FL Studio, but it's pretty much the same. The concepts are the same. And once you have the configurations done for one ASIO device, you can use pretty much that ASIO device for all your DAWs. Okay, then we have here the sample rate. I will leave it at 100. This is the latency. It shows us how many, the buffer size, 256 samples, the input latency, the output latency, and a couple more here functionalities. Another important tab is this one, the folder, file folder, where you can add your VST plugins. And I think this is the only way, one of the things that it's not that I don't like, it's that I dislike a little bit, or at least I'm used to the functionality in FL Studio, which is that you can add multiple folders, multiple folders of VST instruments. So my instruments are scattered through several folders. I probably should have done everything in one folder, but yeah, it happens. And yeah, so this only gives us the option to add just one folder, which I think it's kind of lame, but yeah, whatever. And then we have library, CPU, and the license here. So this is pretty much it. And then we have here the help menu. So this is 18 minutes of boring stuff, at least for not beginners, but for beginners is a nice thing to see. So let's start making some beats. So I will just do a very simple beat. I will not take too much time making a really dope beat. No, that's not the idea. This is just to create a little bit of to give you a little bit of the flow of how to make beats here with Ableton. So let's go to drums. Let's bring the, let's see, let's go with 808. So just drag and drop this into the MIDI file, and this will load here the kit. And if I click on my keyboard, okay, let me bring one octave down, another one. Okay, so let's start recording something, and let's tap the tempo. So 78, maybe let's go with 80. Okay, let's switch to the arrangement view. Let's enable looping, which I have here, and let's start recording. I will put this on overdub, so let's go and start recording. So let's see that this track is armed for the recording, which is, and let's start recording. Okay, let's enable the metronome so that we have a better, so let's give time to loop. Okay, so now we have here the kit, or the how can I say, the MIDI information, and I want to quantize this the values. So what I'm going to do is to just go here, select everything, okay, and let's go to view, edit actually, and let's go here to quantize, which is Control U. Okay, so now let's listen. Okay, so now what I want to do is to go a little bit deeper into this part. So here I can zoom in, okay, and let's add here another type, some more notes. And to add a note, you just right click on it, and to disable it, you just also right click on it. So let's take out the metronome. Okay, so let's make a little bit, make this swing a little bit. Let's see if this sounds nice like this. Maybe not. Okay, let's see, let's put this on. Let's listen to this part. Okay, maybe, yeah. So let's bring this up a little bit. Let's bring this volume down. This one too, and this one too. Okay. Okay, I like this. So now let's work on the hi-hat. Okay, I like this. So let's again arm this for recording. And this will not have a punch in, so I will start right away. Okay, so I'm going to edit this. So as you can see, this, it's a little bit messed up. So what I'm going to do is to maybe put this a little bit more closer. So let's select this part here, Control U to quantize it. And now let's go here, select this part, Control C. Let's go to this part, Control V, and let's Control V it again so that we have more parts here. So let's see. Okay, so now I need to work on this part here a little bit more. I like this. So let's see, let's select everything, Control U to quantize it. So let's see, listen. Okay, so now let's record this crash. Okay, let's stop recording and let's see how this went. So we have to quantize this. Control U. Maybe not. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, so let's select these ones here and Control U these ones. And here, let me check. Okay, so this should, I don't know why the things were being removed. Okay, so let's bring this one closer. Yeah. Okay, something like this. Okay, and this one I don't like. Okay, so now we have a drum loop. So let's go to instruments. Let's see what we have here. Maybe brass. Dusty swells. Let's bring this here and let's go to the session view. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's try a different, let's go with the guitar. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's record that. Let's just hit play. Okay, let's disable the recording. And let's open up the MIDI files. So let's bring this up a little bit. So how can I, okay, let's open up this a little bit more so that we can see what we are doing better. So what I want to do is to bring this part here to the end. So let's select this and let's bring this here to the end. and now select everything and bring everything to the start. And now we can do Control U. Oh no. So maybe we can, instead of putting 1 bar, we can put 1/8. Let's see, Control U, no. Maybe this is not where you do the quantization parameters. So let's see here. Okay, so let's select the notes that I know they should be quantized. So Control U. This should be okay. So now we have to fix some of the notes. Okay, this is okay, this is not. This is also. Okay, so let's fix these ones here. Okay. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, so now let's put this in order. Control U to quantize. And this is okay, this is also okay, okay, and this is not. And now we can work on these ones here. Okay, so let's bring this closer. And like this. And let's make this shorter. Okay, let's maybe try a different one. I like this one. I like this one here. So now let's bring up some bass. Too much. Start that sine wave. Okay, maybe this one here. No. Maybe not. Probably I'm losing too much time on this. So what I'm going to do is just copy these notes here and bring them down. So now we can right click here and let's bring this, zoom out this, and let's see if I can transpose this. Let me check if there is a transpose section. Maybe we can do here. Let me see. No, sorry. Yeah, this is the part where I have to check a little bit. I have to work on this. I have to understand what's going on here. So this is the bass. Oops. How do I, what have I done? Okay. So this is too high. So let's look. How did I select this mouse here? Draw mode. Okay, so B. Nice. So B puts me on draw mode. Okay, and let's select everything and let's bring this down 1 octave. So let's solo. Maybe we can even add another octave. Sorry about that, I have a lot of alarms. Okay. Okay, so now what else? Some strings, let's see. Where I don't have strings, what's going on? Okay, maybe. Maybe some other ones. Yeah, you will be limited to the amount of sounds that I have here, or at least I will be, and if you have this version you will also. And another limitation of this is that you can only bring four instruments. So let's see that or 8 tracks, sorry. So let's see that I want to open up 8 or I forgot what I was saying. So let's see. I can't do stuff and think and talk at the same time. Sorry, I'm just that dumb. Okay, so yeah, and for instance, I have 8 tracks, even either audio or MIDI. If I want to add another one, it will say that the number of tracks is limited to 8 in this version of Live. So yeah, if I want a better version, I will have to pay, and I will in the future, but not right now. Okay, so we have everything selected, and yeah, this is it. So I will not add here these strings. Okay, let's go to this part here. Let's go to the cymbal and let's bring the volume down a little bit, and also the hi-hats. Oh no, actually the maracas. Okay. A little bit of mixing just to make it sound better. Okay, and then if I wanted to add a little bit of mastering, I could go something like Ozone 8 and bring it here to the master, and then I can request the assistance of the master assistant, and it will give me a preset like this. As you can see, I have a lot of bass and not a lot of mids and lower mids and mids. I have a little bit too much on highs. So yeah, and we can also add here a little bit of stereoization. Okay, to make the track sound a little bit better. And as you can see, this is very simple to work with Ableton. If you are used to work with FL Studio or even other DAW, the concepts are the same. Again, you are not limited by your software, you're just limited by your creativity, your experience, and your motivation to make music. So if you are working on a different DAW, that's okay. It might be a little bit, it might take you a little bit of while, for instance, a little bit of while. I don't know what that means. It might take you a little bit of time to get used to the shortcuts and the workflow of, for instance, Ableton. If you are coming from FL Studio and vice versa, or to any other DAW, it might take you a little bit of time, but that's normal because yeah, that's the way things are. You will never know how to work on every single DAW out there. So there are not hundreds but dozens of DAWs, and yeah, the quality, it's getting really good on every DAW that it's coming to the market. But okay, these are the majors, and I used to work with Ableton. I really liked it for the time that I used it, and I'm very used to FL Studio, but as you can see, this is not an excuse to make music, because I can make music with whatever software I have, or even without software I can make stuff. And it would take me a little bit more time, but I would get there, because what matters is your motivation, not your tools. Okay, keep that in mind, and keep making good music. Okay, this is just a demo beat to show you how to make stuff here in Ableton. And yeah, I hope you like it. So if you are new here to this channel, subscribe and activate the notifications so that you know when we upload new videos. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Also, consider supporting this channel by buying one of our products at DailyBeatsVI or become a premium or exclusive member, and you will have access to exclusive tutorials about music production and also to the project files of these tutorials. So this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. More videos are coming with better beats and more focused on music production. And yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.